Hey, Instagram. Have a really fun bouquet today that we're going to do, so I wanted to bring you in on it. This has been a foraging, hey Shelly, this has been a foraging, exciting week for us because it's fall, one of my favorite times of year, and just getting out there and cutting stuff. We've been enjoying it. Some things have lasted, some things haven't. So, you know, that's how it works. But I have some beautiful things I purchased and some beautiful forage things for this bouquet. And this wedding I've been really looking forward to. I look forward to all my weddings, but whenever somebody has like a palette of fall that's, you know, hey Callie, what's up? From, you know, that's just a little bit like different. I really love it. So this is a fall wedding with no burgundy. Hey Jen, what's up? I just finished packing for Design Sanctuary. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm so excited. We are going to have a ball. First of all, I got to show you something. Look at this Cluny ranunculus. I mean, really? Look at it. It's ridiculous. And there's one that's even bigger that I already took a picture of. But look at it next to this rose. Can you even tell the difference? I know. This is a caramel antique, and this was a really pretty one this week. Sometimes I'm not loving these. And here, I'll do the little spin technique. This is one of the only flowers I spin because it's, I don't know, it just doesn't open right when you try to reflex it on its own. Caramel antique. There we go. It still kind of has like a weird shape to it. But look at the difference between the caramel antique and this Cluny ranunculus. It's hard to even tell the difference. I have Vuvuzela. These are one of my favorite roses too. That's a Vuvuzela rose. Really, really, really pretty. Really pretty. I also have these brown cymbidiums. I'm not going to use a whole stem, but I am going to pull them off and use them sparingly individually in there because I don't really want it to be just an orchid bouquet. I also have the creme de la creme of browns. I've got cappuccino and I've got toffee. These toffee are really pretty, but definitely ready to work with, like as in yesterday. So they should be beautiful. But if you're looking for a rose that's flesh toned, you want to go cappuccino. And if you're looking for something that's a true caramel, then you want to go toffee. Okay. Now I'm using this. It's super expensive, and you could just do it yourself. But it's actually a grass. We used to call it plumosa fern, and it's spray painted into a caramel. And you can get that on the Dutch market. They have it in copper. They have it in caramel. But once in a while, I like to use it because look at this pretty movement. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love that. We have a steel bee, which I'll show you. I have a terracotta carnation. I really love terracotta carnations. They're not peach. In this lighting, it's really weird because they kind of look a little bit peach under here. But in reality, they're more kind of like a tan color. I have, of course, brown Lizzie, which I'm always showing you guys. And then this is one of my absolute November favorites, Euphorbia. Euphorbia comes in orange, it comes in peach, it comes in a soft yellow. I just love Euphorbia. So our palette today for this bouquet is peach, soft yellow, all the way down to caramel, and brown, but not really any burgundy. So in her wedding centerpieces, I'm using all of these like super bright, like leaf, you know, you can even see them behind me, I think. Well, anyway, they're back there. Just really fiery, bright, but I don't think they're going to make it out of water, so I'm not going to use them in the bouquet, although I think they'd be beautiful. But basically, we're going to try to pull together everything from like orange straight through to peach, apricot, soft yellow, and caramel and see what happens. So I'm really excited. I'm going to start using this as my big branch. I think I'm going to do a crisscross style bouquet right now because I just want to. Now, normally I don't use the same exact greenery on both sides, but I'm going to use this kind of like an armature and as like sort of a cradle for the bouquet, so I'm okay with it. I have some ilex also, and I think I'm going to use that too to bring in my shape underneath, and that'll kind of peek through. I'm going to cut it right here because it's a really woody stem. And then I think I'll put this other ilex. I'll wait for that one. Then I think I'm going to use some of this pepperberry foliage. This doesn't have the pepperberries on it, but it's just the foliage, and I really like it because it drapes really pretty. And this isn't really a full-on foliage bouquet. If you've noticed, we're not seeing as much of that as we used to. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I made an armature right there. I'm not going to tie it off, but if you guys are more comfortable when you're working to tie off your armature, then go ahead, because I'm basically going to crisscross this and then pull it through the stems. So I think I will also add in some of this caramel plumosa just to, you know, kind of start it off fun. So you see it's already looking so gorgeous. I'm going to use the plumosa on the one side of the bouquet, and then I'm going to use the pepperberry on the other to get my drape. But already you see I've got a really nice armature, a great place to start pulling things through. This will be the pepperberry foliage that I'll use on the other side to kind of drape out the bottom, but I don't have to put that in yet. All right, so let's go. And of course I forgot to wire my cymbidium, but that's all right. So there, I'm going to start with this caramel antique. I'm going to pull it way out here. Dahlia season's just pretty much done for me right now. So I want to show you how I'm holding this. Just an X, that's it. It's an X. And I've got sort of a lot of space in between, and I just kind of brought in this, and I always curve everything back up into the interior. So you're always looking at your line. In other words, you can find an invisible line between both sides so that the bouquet is drawing me back into itself, all right? So when you do this crisscross technique, you can basically just, you know, versus the difference between this and doing the spiral method is you're really starting on the outside and working inside, which is really, really different from that tap turn. So there you go. So I am going to go ahead and put this in because I feel like it's going to give me a little bit more space for my armature, and then I think I'll tie this off, because if I do that right now, then I'll be able to relax a little bit more. Guys, I just want to encourage you as you're trying new techniques, you know, if you're feeling like your bouquet is really overworked and you're not comfortable with it, just stop, okay? Just quit. That's all. Just quit. Get rid of it and start over, okay? It's all right. It's better to start over than to just keep, you know, overworking something, because it's going to just get on your nerves if you have to keep overworking it. So you don't want to do that if you don't have to, because I feel like if you overwork something too long, it shows in the bouquet. It shows in the centerpiece. It looks almost tired. I feel like the flowers really reflect the way that you're feeling when you make the arrangement. So just quit, cut the ties, and start over again with the same flowers. It's okay. You already cut them. You know, they're already ready to work with. That's the best way to practice. Go over to one of your local grocery stores. If you're just trying to practice, get a whole bunch of flowers and just start making them. All right, so I have a good armature here. I'm going to show you the bottom so you can see. It's just a crisscross. Now, a lot of people, when they make this bouquet style, end up with a front. They basically have a front and a back. Now, you guys know me. I don't like that. I'm not going to do that. But it's okay if that's where you're comfortable and that's what you like to do. Go ahead. I don't like to do it because I notice even the bottoms of my bouquets often are, see how I'm going to use this as an armature right now? I'm going to tuck it. I'm just going to pull it through. I'm going to let that flower support it. All right. I don't always like the point on the astilbe. Because I feel like sometimes when you use that point on the astilbe, it sort of shows up, but I'm not going to tuck it out. I'm not going to get rid of it. See how it's kind of sending me out of the bouquet? That's what I don't like. But if I can get it to kind of, if I can take it and kind of curve it myself, if it'll stay that way, that's another little trick you can do. Just kind of go like that. And now it's already got more movement, which I find super interesting. I think I didn't get quicksands, but that's okay. I'll get them in a little bit. This is a Sahara Rose. Really like Sahara. Somebody asked me, which I don't know if I responded to or not, what is another option for a really soft pink rose? This is a Sahara. It can come in a little yellow. It's often used as a replacement for quicksand, but it's another great flower if you're trying to get a little touch of pink, you know, in your bouquet, and you don't want it to be too overwhelming. This is my nemesis, but I continue to buy it all my life. It is amaranthus in a in a copper. This is just one of my favorite things. So I'm going to put this in when I'm finishing because I really am too afraid that it's going to really get on my nerves and hurt me. You know what? Can you do me a favor, Aunt Rita? Yes. I'm sorry, but I need Sahara roses. They're not here. Kahala. The Sahara roses, they're like orange. And yeah, see if I can grab them. There's not enough orange and some quicksand. I have this pretty little orange. You know, I'm not trying to make it real orange, but I'm going to just drop it in there just a little bit, okay? And I'm going to just put it. It's really short, the stem, which makes me feel like I'm not going to be able to put it where I want. I'm going to wait and pull that into the center of the bouquet. Let's do one of these Cloonies. Ooh, so pretty. All right, and now I'm going to tie it off again. I tie off this side, this particular style, a little bit more often because I don't want it to, it's sort of, I'm using the flowers to prop the other flowers, so it's more of an armature. When we're at Design Sanctuary, we are actually going to work with copper armatures that Oasis is one of our sponsors, and they're sending over some copper mesh, which is really, really cool. Look at this, already beautiful. It's really cool, this copper meshing, and so I'm excited about that because I feel like it's going to really look beautiful.
Is this what you want?
You know what? It's more orange. You can leave them, but it's more orange. Can you go out and show her what the Kahala is? You have one in yours, right?
No.
Let me see. They're in, anyway. It's more of a deep orange rust rose. This is something crazy beautiful. I forget the name of that rose, so don't ask me. Yeah, that's it. Thanks. Look at that. Look at that.
Is this it, Sim?
Yeah, this is Kahala. It's like orange. No, this isn't. It's like that color. See?
Do you need these?
You can throw a couple of them in, yeah. Anyway, I love that rose. I think it's really pretty. So it's got a really gorgeous like color to it. I kind of almost feel like this rose is too big, but I'm going to leave it in the middle. See what happens. I didn't strip this, so when I don't strip it, sometimes I'll just go down and clip off my thorns a little bit at a time and go that way. So anyway, Oasis is gonna, they have this copper mesh, and it's basically chicken wire. That's Oasis. Chicken wire by Oasis, but they have it in copper, and they also have armature netting, which is really cool. So we're gonna do some experimenting with that down at the Design Sanctuary and try to do some bouquets with that. So that should be really fun. We have got everything shipped down there. We are so excited and so ready to go that you cannot believe it. All right, so there's that little, this rose is Kahala. It's orange on the outside, like almost brown orange on the outside, and then it moves into a super corally peach. It's cool, I like it. And I'm gonna use it on the interior to answer the question somebody asked me last week. What do I do with dark colors? I usually do try to recess them and use the lighter ones on the outside. So you see this, I've got a lot of light color on the outside, but I don't have a lot on the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm worried she's gonna get poked with this rose. So I think I'm gonna put it right there. So you can see what's happening. Lots of movement. And we just kind of got started with this, so. I'm going to use some cappuccinos now, and I think I'm going to group them. Hey, Christina. They're outside working today. There's nobody in my shop. Everybody wanted to be outside because we're trying to like suck the last 15 seconds of summer out. Ooh, I like it. I'm going to put in a little bit. I am so afraid to put this in because it's going to start freaking out my skin, but I really need it in here. So I'm just poking through, guys. That's how I'm utilizing this as an armature. See that? Pull it back a little bit. Pull this one up a little bit. I'm going to use some of those Toffies now because we don't want them to get lost in the mix. So this is how I'm going to give a front to the bouquet instead of just working from behind, is I'm always looking back and then I'm always looking on this side too. That's how you do that. So you're always working back, you're always working front, and that way you don't have to worry that your flowers are going to start to just create one size. Okay, Freesia. I haven't talked about Freesia much. We use this ever since I started. Lots and lots of Freesia. Love Freesia. It's a really cool floral in the sense that it's got a couple tones. It's one of those great blender flowers, and it also does a lot of good peeking up over things because it has this little hook, and I really like that. So there you go. I'm going to use some rice flour or some yarrow, whatever you want to call it. That's going to give me another really good texture deep inside the bouquet. I think I'm going to go on this side with that. So I'm mixing up my textures as I work here. Okay, I'm going to pull that in a little deeper because I think that's going to give me a great, I don't like where I put it. I'm going to pull it out, put it back in. Because I'm doing this armature idea, I'm not really placing flowers. I'm more basically pulling them through and, you know, giving them some space to be. So, and that big giant rose, I'm going to put that inside because I really don't want it to take over, and I feel like it kind of sort of is. All right, pretty. Look at that, pretty. Now, do you notice how I'm always taking the flowers and turning them back around? I mean, if I say it once, I say it 50 million times around here. Turn around your flowers, turn around your flowers, because I want them to be facing, I'm going to put more of that in. I want them to be facing inward. I don't like when I look at a picture of a bouquet and it doesn't track my eye back in. I just don't. I'm sorry. I know I should be a better person and I should not care, but I do. All right. So we're getting there now. This guy's starting to take a turn. I think I'm going to let him. Okay, now, that being said, you can droop out this way from your bouquet if you want, as long as it sends me back up to the other side, okay? It's not shooting straight away. It's all about line. One of our focuses at Design Sanctuary is going to be line, all the elements of design. So we're going to be teaching elements of design, line, space, texture. You know, there's so many elements of design that people come into this industry and they haven't really learned some of the basics of design, and it's amazing how you can, once you learn those things, you can actually evaluate your work based on those principles and those terms, and you'll understand where you'll look at something and you'll say, I don't know, I don't really like it, it's not quite right, but you'll know why it's not right, which is an empowering feeling to know that, oh, the reason this isn't working for me is that the line is off, you know, or that the the textures are mixed, or there's not enough negative space, or I haven't used my space well. All right, so trick number 2, turn the bouquet around now. So you can, once you've tied it off, you can turn it around and start working on the other side so that you know that you're giving it equal attention. Now I'm feeling like this is a little too much coming out of here, so I'm getting rid of that. It's just bothering me. Something bothers you, don't try to fix it. Don't try to make it work, okay, guys? Just take it from me. Stock is one of those things I often use instead of hydrangea because I feel like it gives me a really good fill without giving me sort of that, you know, kind of I've seen it before look. And I don't always use it so in a way that you're seeing stock, but I use a lot of it just to give me body in the bouquet. So it's kind of intermittent through the interior of the bouquet, not necessarily a focal point. All right? I love that about stock, that you can do that with it. It just gives you color inside. I was going to use an armature on that, but I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to just pull it through like that. So there, you start to see color on the interior of the bouquet instead of just on the outside. If you guys have any questions, I actually can read them right now. So I know I feel like often on my lives, I'm just telling you the same thing over and over again, because honestly, guys, I know everybody thinks that this is a big mystery, this thing we do. But honestly, once you learn the basics, you got it. You know, once you know how to make your cages, you know how to start thinking about depth and foreground and background and shape. I want to show you a line. You always want your one side higher than your other side, because the reason for that is if they're even, my eye is going to stop, and I do not want my eye to stop. Okay, so that's why we do it that way. We do not want our eye to stop. So I'm really liking this bouquet. I feel like it's so pretty, and it's just textury and wild, and I really like it. Now over here, I am a little concerned that those berries are going to pick at my bride's dress. So I'll probably try to loosen that up just a little bit, or put something over that. The Euphorbia is great for putting up high and letting it come over things. It's a really airy, nice airy floral for that. That's one of my favorite things about Euphorbia. This girl has got the prettiest wedding. I mean the prettiest wedding. We are doing so many fun things. We're doing our whole ceiling at the Kimmel Center, and she wanted to do it, you know, Smilax, because that's what everybody sees. And we are going to do Smilax, but we're also cutting a ton of foliage, and we're going to put that in with it so that it really reflects fall. Can you tie this off to show us how you make a handle that you can hold? Yes, of course. I will definitely do that today. I know I always end it. I always feel like I'm boring you guys, so I'm always like, okay, I'll just end it. Stop now. Yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. Got to show those Toffies. They're the star of the show. So you see how I'm kind of using the stem of that. I used the stem of this oak leaf, and the reason I'm using the oak is because it's holding up. So Roxanne, I'm just going to tie a ribbon right here when I'm finished. Now I'll do it on you know, I'll do it on the thing so you can see, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie a ribbon into that because that's really what I need to do. So over here where this stem is that I'm a little bit concerned about, I'm going to go ahead and put that there just to kind of cover it a little bit. I want to get it so it doesn't pick at her dress and that it feels like it's coming from the bouquet. I tie mine off with a little bit of ribbon, and I keep my stems kind of short. It depends. Sometimes I'll leave them a little longer. It just really depends on the bouquet. But just so you see, I just keep tying this off with bind wire. I think last time I did it, I used tape. You can use kind of whatever works for you. You know, and I realize that everybody makes bouquets differently, and I think that's what's so fun about sort of sharing my style, because I always see everybody has different styles and that they do it differently. And I love that, because I always, when I'll watch somebody with a different style than mine, I'm going to cut the bottom off right now. And the reason I'm doing it's just getting bulky. It's in my way. I just want it out of my way. You don't have to do that. If I wasn't just talking and gabbing the whole time, I would just quickly make it and then cut it when I was finished. But I'm not going to do that because I'm on the live with you guys. So now I was able to let go of it. I can take a quick look at it. You're my sample here. So still really like this particular piece of foliage, but I'm going to turn it because when I look at it, I feel like it's too predominant, but I'm really liking it. See, I have a side here and I have a side here, because when I promise you she's going to hold it like that. So that's why I got to come in here next. They always hold it in a way that you're not expecting them to hold it. So please pick it up and pretend you're a bride and hold it 1,000 different ways, so that you can make sure that it's showing really nicely at every angle. You'll be really glad when you get the photos back, because so often you get the pictures back and you're like, that doesn't even look like the bouquet that I just made. All right, so right now I'm just trying to put in some depth. I want something to look into. I don't want the people to be done with this bouquet, like look at the front and then there's nothing inside. I always feel like that's so dull. You know, why would I do that? I use this cottage yarrow because I feel like it's airy, but sometimes this doesn't hold very well or the bottom gets a little ratty. So you kind of have to make sure that you're, you know, cleaning it up a little bit while you go along. So if you're going to Wedding MBA, I know I haven't talked about it much, but I am too. I will be there at Wedding MBA with our Design Sanctuary booth. I'm really excited about it. We have a few girls coming in, but while we're at Design Sanctuary, sort of prepping the booth and getting it ready. But we're going to be doing live demonstrations at Wedding MBA all day Wednesday because I want to show off some really cool techniques there, and you'll be able to meet all the girls that help with Design Sanctuary, and you'll be able to get kind of any piece of information you'd like to get about it. And I'm really like flipping out excited about this Design Sanctuary. It's just we have 2 dates. We're going to be announcing one for April in PA and one for Hawaii in November 2019. So we have 2 coming up next year. So it should be pretty awesome. Okay, so I just did something I don't like. Look, I did that and that. I don't like it because I don't yike it. That's what my kid used to say. I don't like it because I feel like it's dog earing. As much as I love that rose and I love it there, I don't, because I don't want it to start to. I like to group my roses so that it's just not like a dog. For me, I just see it and it looks like it's, I don't know, buttons or something, and I don't like it. That's where I want that rose to be. But since I'm working in an armature, it's not doing what I want. So I'm going to move it. I'm poking it right in. Again, when I say I'm working in an armature, all that means is that I've created a grid underneath this bouquet so that I can put things through it instead of actually using a technique. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And now see, it's way too close to that one. So I'll move it over. I just think it's prettier grouped. I feel like it shows off the flower better or something. I don't know. It's my thing. I don't know why. Don't ask. I don't know. But I like it. It's pretty. Okay. This is so pretty. I like it. I like it. I'm trying to see if there's anything I forgot. Okay, so we have the brown Lizzie and this orange ranunculus. And I really need this pop of bright orange in here. And I think I'm going to pull it in over here. Right there. Because it's short. But now that I've got that, I can pull it in and you can see it at the top. Do you notice that anything small that you can see through, I like to put a bigger rose underneath it or another thing underneath it, and I always let this sort of airy flower stick out at the top. So this is your brown Lizzie, boring, blah blah blah, but we're going to, let me tie off and I'll show you what we're going to do. I did it last live, but if you didn't watch the last one, I'll show it to you now. I'm going to tie this off real quick, and then I'm going to show you how to reflex the Lizzie, and it goes from like to like almost like Cosmos. It's so fun. So I'm going to tie this off, tie it off. My hand's actually getting a cramp. Better stop it. Yesterday at our shop, we were all talking about trigger finger, carpal tunnel, all those amazing things that florists end up with, and it's just one of those things that happens to us. It's not a good thing, and it doesn't feel good either. But so if you have to tie off, do it, all right, guys? Because sometimes the problem is you're gripping too tight. All right, so there we are so far. I'm not even done this, but I want to show you the movement. I love all the movement in it. I love to discover what's inside of the bouquet. I love that process. It's just one of the things I really love. So I'm going to stand that there for a second, and then I'm just going to show you how to reflex your Lizzie. I know I did it last week. I'm ripping the crap out. I pull off the tops of the Lizzie, the little green things, unless it works with the color palette, and in this case it's not. All right, so here we go. It looks like your leaves held up. Yes, Roxanne. Actually, some of them held up. The brighter colored ones are only doing well if they're in a bucket, so we'll keep them in water. So look at that, how pretty. These are very small brown Lizzies. Always clean out the center, okay? Thank you, Flowers Mallorca. Always clean that pollen out. But look how pretty. They just, to me, when you reflex them, they become these fun little bouncy accents to the bouquet instead of just, you know, whatever. Look how cute. Now I don't like the way that's in the same space, but I'm going to use it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and reflex a couple more so that I can stick them right in the bouquet. But yeah, the leaves, I'm going to show you. If you hold on a second, I'll show you back here. These are the leaves. I can't. I'm attached to myself. Hold on. I'm going to disconnect. These. I finally got a mic. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Tell me if you can hear me. Tell me. No. All right, I'm gonna come back. It's on? Okay, good. All right, so I took my mic out, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. But I think you will be. I think it's fine. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm going to use those bigger leaves, these really fun leaves, all through the ceiling, mixed with, pretty. I love these. Look at them. I know. A lot of people don't reflex Lizzie, and they'll get it in brown and it's pretty like this, but if it's not really big and gorgeous, what else? What other flowers can you reflex? Good question. How about reflexing? And you already know, but a tulip. Aren't they fun? Love that. What else can you reflex? I try to reflex anything. Just to give it, here's why I like to do it. I say use some one way and then use some another way, okay? Besides roses, lisianthus, and tulips. You said that, didn't you? I don't know. If I start working with something and it looks like it needs some encouragement, then I'll do it. All right, I'm gonna pick this back up and start. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, this needs to come up. And I think right in between, if you guys were here, I'd ask you. I'd be like, where do you think I should put that? Because you find out so much from each other. I think I want to put it right there. So I want it to kind of peek up over top. It's supposed to be brown, but it almost looks purple, but I don't care. I learned so much from you. Thanks. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. All right, love that. Another good peeker. It's a really light flower, so I can go ahead and let it come in, peek it out. Doesn't have to be all the way, but it's so short, my stems. So there you go. But it adds another dimension, another pretty dimension to the bouquet. All right, I'm gonna stick in a couple more Toffee roses. I do have some brown cymbidiums that I put in the bridesmaids. I might like to do some of those too. Not sure. So now I'm gonna start to build out a little bit more on the outside, down just on the side, so that when they look at the side of the bouquet, they see something. I have a little bit of these hypericum berries, but honestly, since I did all this ilex, I almost don't think I need any more berries in there. I'll put more of this in because I kind of need to. I don't know where I want it. Oh, it's already over here. So I think that it looks good like that. Now, I'm trying to decide whether I want it to curl back up or not. Nah, I think I'll let it go like that. Now, the reason it's okay is because it's got such a strong curl that it's bringing me back into the bouquet. So you can curl from the top, curl from the bottom. Really do whatever the heck you want to do, but this is just how I do it. Remember that. You do it your way if you like it a certain way. I'm going to put this, I want some more of that coming up. I think I'm going to go, let me see what I like. I have this in another color too, don't I? I do. I like that there. Okay. looks good. I just want a lot of peaking now. Now I'm just trying to bring in lots of peaking and color. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my last ranunculus. Look at that. That's insane. I'm starting to feel really happy because my season's starting to slow down. After this weekend, I'm not looking at multiple events on a weekend, and I really like it. I mean, I love what I do, but it is so nice when it's time to get a break. Isn't it, Christina?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Like us a break. All right, so I put that in back down here. I don't know if I like it there. Never mind. That's a crappy use of that. All right. I'm like, I have so many flowers in this bouquet. I literally have no room for this gorgeous flower. And this is where you need to learn to edit, as my friend Amy Lauren would say. Amy Nicole is going to be teaching. I haven't talked a lot about Amy. She is freaking crazy amazing. Knows everything about floral design. She's just crazy gifted, and she's going to be teaching a lot about mechanics. Love it. How much you love. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of this burgundy, this orange ilex in the top. But I don't know if I can because I don't know where it's coming through. And I don't know if it's going to be long enough. It's probably not, so I'll put it this way. Just want a little bit of that color, just a different tone in the ilex. I used ilex instead of the other berries because I felt like it was a better choice. All right, I feel like I need to be done. All right, I don't really want to just because I have so many great flowers I can use, but I just really feel like I should finish. So I'm just gonna finish. See that spot, I don't like that. And I'm gonna pull this one through sort of low like that so that I have, that depth on the side. I need that there. And then I'm gonna just finish off with some green. But this bouquet is really pretty to me. I like it. I like it. I like it. So there we got the pepperberry, really pretty.
Well, I cannot do boxes because everything is.
Love it
from
how you love the
paper
flowers and get all excited.
the tops.
Okay, there we go. Caught Aunt Rita complaining there. Live complaining.
No, I said I can't do boxes because everything is in front of them.
We blocked her way. I'm dying to use them. Really want to use them, but I'm not gonna. Oh, she's the best. ZZ is the best. I think I could do that. I think I want another caramel. Maybe a cappuccino. All right, I'll stop. I swear I'm going to stop. And the problem is now is I have to tie it off for Roseanne because she wants me to show how I'm going to tie this off. So I have to do it. So I will. I'm going to tie it off right now. Ooh, yeah. That's pretty. All right, I think that's gorgeous. So look, it has a really pretty top. It has a really pretty side. It has a lot of movement and bounce, which is really what we want. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up a little bit more because I just feel like it could use like, maybe not. Maybe I got too excited there. Okay, now I'm gonna tie it off and I'm gonna show Roseanne how I would put the ribbon around the bottom of the bouquet. The reason often I don't do it on my lives, to be honest with you, I'm using similar colors in the bridal show this week. Aren't they amazing? Is a Sahara Rose less expensive than quicksand? Sometimes, not by much. It just depends on your grower and your wholesaler that week. I search around. I really search. I buy flowers, then I'll go to DV Flora, then I'll go to Pennock, and then I'll go, I kind of look around. This week I had to go to Potomac to get my Toffee roses because my other wholesalers didn't have them. So it's really good to have a lot of wholesalers to ask, for what you need. So I think this is just stunning. All right, can I have that ribbon, please? Should I put this in? This little orchid. What do you think? That's beautiful. Love the bounce and the little dancing bits. I know. That's what I always want. I really like a lot of movement and dance. Do you think I should put that in? I don't. I don't know. Should I? Tell me. Let me hear a group opinion. Does everybody like or think I should do a brown cymbidium in the bouquet, just to give it like another flower? Yes on the orchid, no little shed. See, this is what happens, Wellspring and Little Shed. Yes, keep going. Let's do a vote. I got 3 yeses, 4 yeses. Sorry, Canada. It's like you're getting voted out. 4 yeses. The question is, should I use this? I'd rock it in a headpiece. Yes, you would. Look, how's that? Yes, all right. Yes wins. So let me show you what I have to do that. I'll show you how to wire the orchid in case you already don't know. I have to cut this down a little short so I can sit it. Your bouquet should sit down on their own. So before you send them out the door, it's really good to level them and balance them when you cut the stems so that they will sit down on their own, because it really helps when the brides have them that they can do that. So I'm always kind of doing that, and then I'll check it and I'm like, it's not gonna work that way. So I clean up my bottom. It's so funny. I think I did this before where I was like, make sure your bouquets sit down, and then it didn't. So basically you can do that. If you have a spiral technique, your bottom should be clean. There, that should stay. All right. Don't you dare do this to me. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm gonna do is show you how to take an orchid and put it into a stem. I'll usually, if I'm gonna wire and tape a stem of flowers, I will usually attach it to something. So I'm gonna attach that right to this piece of ilex because I think that's prettier way to put it into the bouquet. But you could just do it, you know, without doing it that way. You could just, hold on, sorry. You could just put it in there and attach it to a stem. So the way I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna do a little hairpin, you know, which is basically that. And I don't know, I never tried it with bind wire, but I'm gonna try it with bind wire right now, where you kind of pull it through the middle. This might not be tough enough to get through my orchid. That's not, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, let's use regular wire. You're gonna take it, fold it just like that. That's called hairpin. There was a great book when I first started my company a million years ago and it was called Wiring and Taping Flowers, and it showed every single flower and how to wire and tape it. I thought it was such a cool one. See what I'm doing? I'm just taking it right around the stem like that and cutting it off just like that. And now you might say, well, okay, if I put it in, you're gonna see that little piece of wire. That's a really simple fix. There's multiple ways I could fix it. I could put a little leaf over top of it. I could glue something to it. But what I'm probably gonna do is take a little bit of this copper or caramel plumosa, and I'm just gonna take it and put it in there right through that little wire, just like that. Put another one through the wire just so you don't see it. So now look how pretty that is. It's actually like its own little super cool little thing. So pull that through. I don't know if you guys know Alyssa. She works with us, and she's left today to go to her last doctor's appointment because she's having a baby. Yes. And she's been with us like a while. She's like my lead designer, so I'm like really nervous. All right, so there you go. There you go. But Christina's gonna take over for her. All right, so I'm gonna put this in right here because that's where it looks like it needs to go to me. I've almost completely covered this giant orange rose in here, but it's because, yeah, I like that, like that. Let me get it in there a little deeper. I can hear Canada saying, why did you do that? All right, that looks good. I like it, it's fun. And it actually blends in really, really well. With that, I'll pull this around. Yeah, and the reason I like it on that is it's gonna support it really well. So let me see if I can show you. Look how nice. So it just popped in there. Just another little surprise. What I didn't stick in here, which I probably should have, was another tulip, open tulip. I was gonna do that, but there was something about those tulips, it's a little bit brassy for me. So I'm not gonna do it. And I'm just gonna break up these 2 roses here in the middle because I want to. Now I feel like I'm actually at the spot where you go, okay, you're just overworking your bouquet. But that's why I gotta stop, okay? So I'm gonna stop. I can't get that one where I want it. Come on, baby, come on. Come on now. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna put that like that. Let's get that little orange, pop of orange. All right, let me tie it off and show you how I'm gonna do the ribbon. Did you bring that ribbon over to me?
It's to your right.
To my, oh, there it is. Okay, so I love to use a fancier ribbon. I would love it if I had that in the, you know, a lot of fancy ribbon in here, but I don't use a lot of fancy ribbon. I use a lot of double face satin ribbon in my business. It comes in great colors. I use it from Lion Ribbon. So I'm showing you, Roxanne. I give it an extra, really give it an extra tug. Clean up the bottom really good. I want to make sure this thing doesn't fall apart. So as I wrap it, I pull and yank and yank and pull and yank and pull and pull and yank. And then I'll pull it back to itself, attach it to itself with a little twist. And then once I get the ribbon on there, it's really gonna hold it well. All right, there we go. Now you wanna clean off your stems. Make sure there's no ick down here. There we go. Okay, there's a little rose leaf I gotta get rid of. All right, there you go. It's so stunning. One last question, Anna. Does the bride hold above the spiral stems? Yes, she's gonna hold it right here. Okay, that's why I'm gonna cut this shorter because I really don't want the stems to be the point. And then she can hold it like this, or she can hold it like this, or she can hold it like this, or she can hold it like that, you know? Oh, look at that, I just saw another dark spot, but there is actually some berries under there, so it's not completely dead. But I just love it to have multiple ways to show it, all right? So I'm gonna use a double-faced copper, which I think is just gorgeous. It matches really nicely. We're not gonna see a lot of the ribbon here. It's just gonna basically take it around. I think I'm gonna make that the front. I'm actually gonna do it on the side. All right, so what I do, Roxanne, watch. I'll take it, I'll almost do it like really tight, like it's a rib, like it's a rope. I rope it and then I'll neaten it up at the end because I actually use it to give me a nice clean tie. I'm gonna tie it off like that, and then I'm just gonna give it a little, I'm just gonna tie it like that. I don't have a good scissor here to show you, but I'm gonna tie it like this. Let me see if I can show you underneath. Yeah, just like that, okay? And then I'm gonna cut it shorter. So then I'm gonna just do 2 little loops like that because I just don't want to really see the ribbon. But if she does show it, you can like it. So, all right, thanks for looking. Thanks for watching. This is my son over here. He's so cute. Aw, my love. Anyway, bye guys. I will post this up so you can see, sort of the finished version. And thanks for watching and tolerating all my stuff. Love y'all. Bye. See you guys in Dallas or at Wedding MBA. Come to the Design Sanctuary booth, okay? Bye.